What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be making a victim tier list, so let's jump right into the video. For the first victim, we have Connie, and Connie's an S tier victim in my opinion. She's the best victim in the game because of how game-changing she is. So first, we're going to talk about the skill tree, and then we're going to be talking about her ability. So first, with her skill tree. On her skill tree, you can get a lot of good perks. You can get perks like Jumpstart, Slippery, Saboteur, Efficient Locksmith, Bomb Squad, and Extra Drip. And the thing with Connie is, there's so many builds you can use with her. Obviously, people use the meta build, which is Bomb Squad, Efficient, Locksmith, and Extra Drip. But there's so many other good builds like the Jumpstart build, where you can run for a long period of time. The Saboteur build, which comes clutch for fuse box plays, and then the Max Strength Connie, which comes clutch for the generator. There's so many ways to play Connie, and there's so many good builds you can use on her. And then let's talk about her ability. Her ability is literally the definition of game changing, and that's the reason why you see Connie in most of your matches, because of how good she is. There's a reason why family members want to get rid of Connie right off the bat. Is because of how game-changing she is. With 3 clicks of a button, with Connie's ability, you can open up a door immediately. And when you open up a door immediately, it puts pressure on the family, because you know what? When you open up a door right away with her ability, it opens up the map for your teammates, and that puts pressure on the family. And that's the thing, and that's another thing about Connie's ability. It helps your teammates because it opens up the map for your teammates. And that's why I do believe that Connie's an S tier victim. And that's the reason why I think she's the best victim in the game. For the second victim, we have Leland, and Leland is another S tier victim in my opinion because of how good he is. I mean, let's talk about a skill tree real quick. With this skill tree, you can go with many different builds. I mean, with that right side of his skill tree, you can go with, the Extra Drip, Jumpstart, and Grappler build. But my god, when you look at his left side of the skill tree, you never want to leave that side because of how many good perks there are on the left side. There's so many good perks, such as No Cell, Been Working Out, Taekwondo, Choose Fight, and Stunt Double on that left side of the skill tree. You can also do a proficiency build with Leland if you go to the left side, because there's highly skilled down there. There's so many ways you can go with it on his skill tree. There's so many good perks, and you can always mess around with it and see what works for you. But the main thing with Leland is his ability, his barge. His barge is literally clutch. I mean, you can literally barge a killer and do a lock in their face, get a few checkpoints off on a lock in their face when you barge them. You can also, protect yourself if you're hurt, or even protect your teammates when they're hurt. And another good thing about Leland's barge is you can defend objectives. And what I mean by that is you can stick with one of your teammates and literally defend them while they're doing an objective by barging them, right? Barging the killer when they're coming towards you and your other teammates. And they'll give your teammate enough time to open up a door, or, turn off the battery, turn on the fuse box, turn off the gen, turn on the valve. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that barge comes clutch in so many ways. It comes clutch in terms of getting objectives done, and in terms of, saving yourself or saving your teammate's life. And that's why I have him at S tier. I have him at S tier because he can do it all. And most importantly, he's a team player with that ability, and it comes clutch. It's literally game changing. That's why I have Leland at the S tier slot. For the third victim, we have Anna, and Anna is an A tier victim in my opinion. You can make an argument that she is an S tier victim, but I do believe that she was an S tier victim before the skill tree rework updates. But after the skill tree rework updates, I do think that she is an A tier victim. So let's talk about her skill tree real quick. Her skill tree is still very good. You can get many good perks such as Bomb Squad, Extra Drip, Stunt Double, what else? Jumpstart, and Choose Fight, and those perks are really good. But you do have to realize that before the skill tree rework update, she could also get the Grappler and No Cell on her skill tree, and those 2 perks are really good. And then after the skill tree rework update, they did remove those 2 perks from her skill tree. They did remove Grappler and No Cell from her skill tree. And I'm not saying her skill tree is bad. Her skill tree is still very good, but removing those 2 perks from her skill tree definitely made it a little worse in my opinion. And then let's talk about her ability. Her ability is really good. Her ability will literally save your life, and it could also save your teammates' life if they're really hurt, because with her ability, you can take hits for your teammates, right? Because you barely take any damage. Another good thing about her ability is that you can get stamina back when they hit you while your ability is active. hear me again when I say that. You can get stamina back when they hit you when your ability is active. And also another good thing about her ability is I've actually pulled this off many times with her ability. And here's the play with her ability. Trust me, guys. I would recommend trying this out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you do have to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. So with Ana, what I like to do sometimes is, if there's a killer chasing me and I have the fuse, I would put the fuse in the fuse box, activate my ability, and let the killer hit me until they run out of stamina and do the math in their face. Trust me, it sounds like a risky play, but you take barely any damage with your ability. Sure, you do take damage, but it's not as much, you know what I mean? So I would say try out that play. I've done it many times. I've died multiple times trying that play, but I've actually pulled it off many times as well. You just have to be good at math, but trust me, her ability can come clutch in many ways. You can save your life with her ability, you can save your teammate's life with her ability, and you can also pull off a fuse box play with her ability, and you can also pull off any type of play with her in terms of an objective, you know what I mean? You can also turn on the valve and just protect the valve with your ability and then backstab them after, right? After they, you know, hit you while you have your ability active. Trust me, her ability comes clutch in many ways in terms of you, your teammates, and the objectives. And that's why I do have her at the A tier slot. For the fourth victim, we have Sonny, and Sonny's an A tier victim in my opinion. Sonny was a B tier victim before the skill tree rework update, but after the skill tree rework update, they gave this guy some really good perks, and that's why I put him at the A tier slot. I mean, before the skill tree rework update, I'm gonna be honest, Sonny was the character in the cutscene in the beginning of the match. He was on the hook, but after the skill tree rework update, dude, the guy is amazing. He got 3 new perks that I can think of from the top of my head, and these 3 perks are really good. After the skill tree rework update, he got extra drip, no cell, and fast hands, which are 3 really good perks and are game changing. And also his ability. I mean, his ability is really good in terms of callouts and knowing where the killers are. He literally has wall hacks with his ability. And when you get his ability level 3, it will tell you the difference between the killer and the victims. And that's huge because you can make callouts to your teammates and it will let you know where the killers are heading and which way they're patrolling. That's why he's an A tier victim. His skill tree is really good now. He has many good perks. He also has other perks such as Efficient Locksmith, Taekwondo, stunt double. I think those perks were already in his skill tree before the skill tree rework update, if I'm not mistaken. But that skill tree rework update definitely gave him a buff because getting extra drip, no cell, and fast hands in your skill tree is really good. Plus his ability, like I said, his ability comes clutch not only for you, but your teammates. And that's why I have Sonny at the A tier slot. For the 5th victim, we have Julie, and Julie is a B tier victim in my opinion. You can make an argument that she is an A tier victim, but I do believe that she is a B tier victim. So let's talk about her skill tree. Her skill tree is really good. I mean, you can get many good perks such as Efficient Locksmith, Bomb Squad, Extra Drip, No Cell, Choose Fight, Stunt Double, and Overlooked. And the list goes on. Her skill tree is really good, but it does come down to her ability. Her ability is really good, you know. You basically have unlimited stamina with her ability, and you can also use her ability for 20 seconds if you go to the top right on her ability tree, which comes clutch. Her ability comes clutch in terms of, you know, outrunning the killers or, you know, distracting the killers. And her ability also comes clutch when you're trying to make a run for it, you know, for like the valve exits, the battery exit, gen exit, and the fuse box exit. But the thing is, her ability is definitely situational and it only helps yourself, if that makes sense. So compared to the other abilities like Connie, Leland, Ana, and Sonny, with those 4 abilities, you know, it doesn't only help you, but it helps your teammates as well. You know what I mean? With Julie's ability, it definitely can help your teammates as well in terms of distracting the killers, but I feel like for the most part, it only helps yourself with her ability. That's why I do have her at the B tier slot. For the 6th victim, we have Danny, and Danny is an S tier victim in my opinion because of how good he is and how crazy that tamper ability is. I mean, sometimes the family members can't even do much with that tamper ability, and I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm going to talk about hands as well after, so stay tuned for that. But let's say there's a family team without a hands. So for an example, let's say you're going up against a Leatherface, Hitchhiker, and a Cook. If you can tamper any objective, so for an example, let's say you tamper the valve or the fuse, they can't do nothing about it other than just defend the objective after, or the exit. You know what I mean? Because they can't turn it off, right? So they're forced to defend the exit for the objective. So for an example, let's say you tamper the fuse box. Most of the time, you know, the Leatherface will go down to basement and block the door. But guess what? It's tampered, and the Leatherface is going to have to be down there for a while, which gives you and your teammates more time to do objectives. And the thing is, once, you know, the fuse box exit closes, you can turn on the fuse box again and it will be tampered once again. That's how good his ability is. And let's talk about his skill tree. They gave Danny Bomb Squad after the skill tree rework update, and that's huge because you know why? Usually when there's a hands or a hitch, they obviously have to place traps at the valve and the fuse and all that, right? So with Danny, you don't have to take the traps like a champ anymore because you have Bomb Squad and you can disarm the traps easily with Bomb Squad. And now let's talk about hands. A lot of people are saying, I've seen online, that Danny is useless now because of hands and how you can counter him. And I've seen it in a lot of lobbies. When I play hands and there's someone on the other team as Danny, they automatically switch because they think he's useless against the hands. And that's completely wrong. I mean, there's literally ways Danny can counter hands, and I'll tell you how. There's a strat called the double fuse strat or the double valve strat. So I'm going to talk about the double fuse strat here real quick. So with the double fuse strat, what you do here is you open up the fuse box, you get 2 fuses. You put the first one in, you tamper it. Hands comes along, you wait for Hands to come and ripstall the fuse, and then you put the second fuse in and then make a run for it because he doesn't have his ripstall ability. And I know what people may be thinking, oh, what happens if Hands has the ripstalled perk? That definitely counters Danny. Here's the thing. With Hans' ripstalled perk, I think it's 30 seconds if I'm not mistaken. So what you do here is you wait 30 seconds and put the second fuse in, but the thing is here, you're going to have to make a run for it really quick because he will get his ability back pretty quick, right? So, but the thing is, even if he does have the ripstalled perk, you can still, you know, counter him and help your teammates escape, right? Because, you know, you can tell your teammates you're going to be putting a fuse in and they can be waiting at the fuse box exit, right? And that's the thing about Danny's ability. That's why I have him at the S tier slot. It's because, you know, his perks that he can get from the skill tree are really good. I mean, the build I'm using on Danny is Stunt Double, Taekwondo, and Bomb Squad, which is filthy. That's such a good build. And another thing is, with his ability, it not only helps you, but it helps your teammates because, you know, like I said before, if you tamper the fuse and there's a Leatherface blocking the exits, that gives you and your teammates more time to do other objectives. And also, if you're doing the double fuse strat or the double valve strat on Hands, at least you're distracting the Hands and it allows your teammates to do something else. You know what I mean? So that's the thing about Danny. Such a good character. His skill tree is really good. I still can't believe they gave him Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad is really good on the guy because he can tamper objectives and his ability is just game changing. That's why I have Danny at the S tier slot. For the 7th victim, we have Virginia, and Virginia is an S tier victim in my opinion. So let's talk about her skill tree here real quick. Her skill tree is really good. I mean, I know a lot of people are pissed off that they removed Fast Hands from her skill tree, but I didn't, like, you don't really have to rely on that perk with her because her poison does come clutch in terms of, you know, picking the locks in front of the killer's faces. And I do believe they actually made the right choice with removing Fast Hands from her skill tree because it was kind of cracked with that stamina debuff. So I do believe the devs did make a right choice by removing Fast Hands from her skill tree. And I do say that as a Virginia main. So, I mean, with her ability, or with her skill tree, my fault. With her skill tree, there's literally a build with her. It's the highly skilled, tougher stuff, and what doesn't kill you build. You can literally get 50 toughness and 50 proficiency with that build, and on top of that you can get good endurance as well, which is actually insane. But the build I'm using on her right now is the extra drip, efficient locksmith, and I think it's the tougher stuff build. I think I have tougher stuff on that build. I think I do. So tougher stuff, extra drip, and efficient locksmith. That's such a good build on her. There's so many good builds on her, and the thing is, her attributes are really good as well. Her default attributes are really good. And you can even upgrade it even more because she does have those perks such as tougher stuff and highly skilled. If you guys are new to the game and you have Virginia, trust me guys, I would recommend trying out that tougher stuff, highly skilled, and what doesn't kill you build. 50 toughness with good endurance and 50 proficiency is absolutely insane, and it's a really good build, trust me. And then let's talk about her ability. Her ability is so good. Her ability not only comes clutch for yourself, but it comes clutch for your teammates. And what I mean by that is you can literally save your teammates while they're getting chased by throwing powder at the killers because it will blind them. And then you can also save yourself as well when a killer's chasing you. Throw up powder right in front of you because it will blind the killer when they're chasing you. You know what I mean? Her ability comes clutch. And let's talk about her level 3 abilities. I'm not gonna talk about the grandpa level, or I mean not the grandpa level, but I'm not gonna talk about her level 3 ability in terms of like the blood and all that, how it brings down the family blood by 0. But I'm gonna talk about the stamina debuff and the healing cloud. So the stamina debuff on her is absolutely cracked. I mean, with the stamina debuff, what you can do here is with Virginia, have high proficiency, go to a gate, throw powder at the gate, and then do the gate in the killer's face. Because guess what? If the killer's in your poison and they're swinging, they're gonna run out of stamina pretty quick, and you could do the lock in their face because you do have that high proficiency, right? With that 50 proficiency build. And another good thing about her ability, I'm not going to talk about the stamina debuff right now, but let's talk about the healing cloud. I do believe that the healing cloud is better than the stamina debuff, and here's why. With the healing cloud, you know, it saves health bottles for your teammates. You don't have to use health bottles because you can heal with your powder. And the thing is, if you and your teammates run out of health bottles, you can all heal together with Virginia's healing powder. And here's another thing, guys. Here's another thing. The healing powder counters venom. So, you know, sometimes what I do is here, let's say Hitchhiker places a trap at a gate. I would throw my powder at the gate, take it like a champ. I'll take the trap like a champ and do the lock, because guess what? If they have venom, I'm not going to take any damage because that healing boon counters the venom, which is absolutely insane. And that's why I have Virginia at the S tier slot. She's an S tier victim because her attributes are really solid. Her skill tree is really solid, and her ability not only helps you, but it helps your teammates a lot. That's why I have her at the S tier slot. For the final victim, we have Maria, and Maria is a C tier victim in my opinion. I actually do have a lot of fun playing as Maria, but I'm going to tell you why I have her at the C tier slot. I mean, her skill tree is really good. There's so many good perks you can get on her skill tree, and that's why I like playing as her, because she has really good perks. She has really good unique perks. That's what I can say. She has really good unique perks. But the thing is, it's her ability. I mean, her ability can be useless at times. I mean, don't get me wrong. Her ability can come clutch, but if the family don't feed Grandpa, if they don't feed Grandpa the family, her ability is going to be useless, because that's when her ability activates. It's when the family, you know, feeds Grandpa. You know what I mean? When they feed him to level 1, that's when her ability activates. But you do have to sweet talk him first. Remember that. You have to sweet talk Grandpa first with Maria in order for her ability to activate. And that's the thing. It's just, if you sweet talk Grandpa, like I've had games where I sweet talked Grandpa and, you know, the family don't feed Grandpa and her ability is completely useless. And that's the thing as well. If you're using perks that rely on her ability, those perks are going to be useless as well. But the good thing about Maria as well is when you're near Grandpa, you don't get highlighted. That's a really good thing about Maria. When you're near Grandpa, you don't get highlighted. That's really good. But yeah, I mean, compared to the other abilities, her ability is by far the worst in my opinion, especially when it doesn't activate, because like I said before, you need the family to feed Grandpa in order for it to actually work. And the thing is with her ability, if you sweet talk Grandpa and they feed Grandpa again at level 1, yes, you know, it will show the killers for you. I mean, it actually does come clutch at times when it shows the killers, because it's basically the opposite, you know? You basically have radar detector. I mean, you do have radar detector and overlook at the same time with her ability, right? But the thing is, with her ability, the killers don't care about her ability. They don't care. They will move no matter what, because there's no debuff when it comes to her ability. You know what I mean? But I do have her at the C tier slot. You could put her at the B tier slot, but I don't think she's anything above a B in my opinion. That's why I have her at the C tier. She's a C tier victim because, I mean, like I said, her skill tree is really good. She has really good perks, but it also depends. It depends during the match if that makes sense. Like, I put her at the C tier because of her ability. Sometimes her ability is completely useless, and the perks that work for her ability, you know, that relies on her ability, are useless at times. That's why I put her at the C tier slot, because her ability is not active compared to the other victims, if that makes sense. That's my victim tier list, and if you guys want to share your victim tier list, be sure to leave a comment down below and I'll definitely take a look at all your tier lists. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and take care guys. Have a good day and see you in the next one.